about Ramadan and its relations to emotional intelligence.
Okay.
You find that within areas that are dominated by Muslim brothers and sisters, during Ramadan, things change.
Absolutely.
There's peace and calm, not to suggest that they are rowdy, but there's peace and calm. I've lived at Apostle Camp before. There's peace and calm. The love is extra. The affection is different. The vibe is different. And they would want to even show you stuff. And that's where they want to draw you closer and closer. Why is that? I suggest that's emotional intelligence. But why is that?
That is very true, brother Hughes, Johnny. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator and our maker, has made it a point that when he asks us to do something, or he orders us or gives us an injunction to do something, he makes sure he gives us all the mechanisms. He gives us he puts us into touch with things that will allow us, will make the atmosphere congenial for us to be able to deliver. And so when he says we should fast, he asks us to do certain things within the period of the day. Don't eat, don't drink, don't entertain yourself sexually. Keep away from anything that hitherto you do that will detract you.
Right.
Then you will have that sense. Then you will start having that sense of who you really are. I mean, our scholars will give us an example of a car. When you are driving a car and your car is very sensitive and it starts losing fuel, it actually gives you an alarm.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
It is when it starts feeling that hunger that it's able to tell you that there is something it needs in
so
you.
Give it to me.
Absolutely. So give it to me. And if you don't, the second minute, another thing will also start triggering. That tells you that you are being more sensitive when you take certain things away from the car. The car becomes more sensitive when it is denied certain things that are really, really important to it. The same thing with the human being.
Okay.
Allah knows that there are certain things that distract the mind. There are certain things that distract the heart. Take it away, the man will come back to his own senses.
Right.
The man will now start realizing certain things that he hitherto was not, it wasn't clear or doesn't come clear to him. And just as you said, yes, emotional intelligence.
Right.
Scholars did, or it's defined as the ability, right, to be able to identify and manage your emotions as well as the emotions of others. That's how it's defined. Now, you realize that in this, you have 5 things coming into play. First of all, you will have your own self-awareness.
Okay.
Where you are able to know that, well, is that really, that's how it feels, right? Okay, so I can even go throughout without even feeling, oh no, immediately after noon, I start really feeling. So you start knowing the kind of being or person you are. Oh, is that really? I think now I realize that when I go hungry, I really get hungry very, very quickly. Or no, when I don't eat, I really have time to learn more. I mean, you come to that self-awareness. Second thing is you become self-regulating.
Okay.
You are able to, because so many things.
Pinch yourself.
Absolutely.
Say, this is not right.
Absolutely. This is not right. I can really see it now. I'm calm now. I don't think about what goes here, so I can see things.
Okay.
Another thing is you start having empathy. Then you start feeling for others. Okay. So when I say I will deny somebody food, that's how it feels.
Right.
So those people who are not married, that's how they feel.
That's how they feel.
You know? So you start having all those. The fourth other thing is motivation.
Okay.
You are motivated to do things. You are triggered by the strength of your willpower to say, well, you see, I can even do things. I would be able to keep away from doing the wrong things. I mean, these are either two good things or normal things or permitted things that I'm now denied to. And I'm able to keep away from those normal things or hitherto permissible things, eating, drinking. If I'm able to really do this, that is so important to my being, then the other ones.
What else is there?
Absolutely. So that will also give you some kind of motivation. The final aspect is social skills. Then you know how to relate. Then people around you, you become conscious about people around you. You start feeling that, okay, I'm part of society. Now I realize how it is to really come together. I mean, you really see that a lot of the time, if you are in a Muslim society, you realize that the community becomes a whole.
Right.
The mosques are filled with people. I mean,
right.
not normal. I don't know if you have
Exactly.
seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've stayed around
Yes.
Gaskia, Sabongida, so I know
okay.
what
Then
it
you
means.
see
Like, I
people
see
trooping
it.
into the mosque.
Exactly. Unfailingly, on time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So these 5 elements that brings up your emotional intelligence, you can clearly see it in the Muslims, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows exactly what will bring out this feeling, these senses from you when he takes it away from you. They are the things that, yes, makes you a human being and alive. But he also knows that when I take it away from you, your senses, you start realizing certain things. An example, another typical scenario of or similitude of this particular element, that when certain things is taken from certain factors in order to attain the purpose. It's like a car. You know, a car is supposed to take one from one place to another.
That's right.
That's the purpose, right?
That's right.
And as quick as possible, right?
That's right.
But you realize that there is a brake system. Isn't that contradictory?
Then why would you put a brake on something that must take me somewhere
Faster.
fast?
Right? But you need to take a break. That sense of taking a break will make you take the person there safely. So for you to reach God safely at the end of your life, you need some break. And one of those breaks that you need is a whole month of fasting. Out of the 12 months, take one of it off. Take a break. That will give you a sense of direction. To know that either I'm going towards the right direction, or no, I need to step down a little bit because of certain things.
Right.
You know, if I come to a traffic light, I need to know that there is a yellow, red, and green. And there is a purpose for that.
I see.
It's for your safety.
Interesting. How do we translate this into life after Ramadan? How do we sustain and carry it along? Because these are very important, motivation,
self-awareness,
regulation, and empathy, and all of that. How do we live these tenets beyond Ramadan?
Very good question, Johnny. You see, there are two things. There are two things that a believer or a Muslim is asked to put into retrospective, and anytime he wants to sustain the relationship with God. There are two things. The first thing is that if we go out of Ramadan, just have that sense of or consciousness that the God in Ramadan is still the God after Ramadan.
Right.
And what you came to do in Ramadan was supposed to prepare you, to rejuvenate you, to overhaul the system. It's like a car. When you take it after the servicing, you understand what happens. How do you feel when you are in it?
It feels cool.
Absolute. So, Johnny, this first aspect of you being conscious that the same God in Ramadan is the same. In fact, now Allah is even looking at you with better, because now you have attained those rewards. You are now closer to Him, and He is even watching you. And that's very important. Watching you. So Allah watches us. Allah knows what we are doing. So let Allah be like a CCTV in everything you do. Then you will be able to translate this into outside of Ramadan. That's the first thing. The second thing is that our scholars say Allah wants you to have that sense that probably this is your last Ramadan.
Okay.
Maybe you will not get the opportunity of any
do
Ramadan
again.
Right. So don't go and spoil it, so to speak, right?
All the work.
All the
Don't
work.
ruin it.
Absolutely. Particularly, it's good you ask this question on our Salah day. You know, come to Kanda Highway.
Right.
And other places. And you see how our brothers ride the motorbike.
Yeah.
You know, anyhow. That tells you what really happened in Ramadan. Is it that the devils that were chained, because according to prophetic narration, when it is Ramadan, the devils are chained. Right?
Right.
So what you are literally saying is that, oh, they are out there now, they have been released and they are affecting us. Right. No, actually, when you come out of Ramadan,
you're
supposed to be absolutely, you're supposed to be fortified now. You are having the armor or armory to be able to protect yourself from the, all the deceit of Satan and of evil. So it's a very good question that we need to, one, know that God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan is the same Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala outside of Ramadan. He is just as openly looking at us just as he was during Ramadan. Secondly, maybe you might not have the chance to have another Ramadan again, because we all have the belief that during Ramadan, and particularly in these last 10 days, there is a night that if you are fortunate to have it if you are able to pass that night worshipping, certain angels are descended.
Okay.
And when they put you into record, Johnny, you are rewarded as somebody who has lived 83 years worshipping. That's that night I spoke about earlier, the night of power.
That's right.
The night of decree, Laylatul Qadr. So imagine when somebody has this understanding that I have attained it in the last 10 days. And I might not get it again.
Okay.
Maybe Allah will not, I wouldn't be alive, so to speak, before the next Ramadan. So imagine if you have that consciousness that I have attained it and I have had the opportunity of getting the Laylatul Qadr. Allah has forgiven me all my sins and Allah has given me reward as if I have worshipped for 83 years. Would I go out of Ramadan and destroy it? Do anything to spoil it? I wouldn't do that.
Sheikh, again, let's bring this home to the marital setting. At this point, for couples that have challenges, couples that have their own setbacks, they may want to solve it internally.
Absolutely.
But how does Ramadan and its connection to emotional intelligence help them to fix it before Ramadan ends or around that end?
MashaAllah, this is a very good question, and particularly when marriage or the family is the nucleus of the society.
Right.
And so anything that hinders its progression should be, it should not be condoned. And Islam has also made it a duty upon every Muslim, particularly the man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Our learners say that the interpretation of which is, O you who believe, save yourselves and your family away from the hellfire, as if you are in charge. The mother and the father,
right.
You are in charge of the family. If anything goes wrong,
it is your job.
Yes.
It's your failing.
Absolutely. It's your failing. If anything goes wrong with the children, you are the primary responsible persons to be held on that. Therefore, take the opportunity of this particular month. And the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned that in this particular month, everything that you approach to do, you intend to do, the external forces that will prevent you from doing it has been changed. That's from Revelation. They have been changed. So the opportunity is for you. Now, what will actually deny you from doing that? Because Allah is saying He has changed off all those evils, all those devils have been chained. So they are not physically there. Now, the only thing that might prevent you from reconciling with your wife or with your husband to make sure that the family is well-to-do is your own, that is what is known as al-nafsul ammaratu bisu.
Okay.
Your soul that has already been wound up by Satan before he was chained. You understand? That means you are really been affected so deeply.
Okay.
Because you need to cleanse. The heart, according to Islam, is something that is pure. But it is stained with black spots and dirt as and when you commit a sin,
right.
as and when you do something wrong. So depending on how dirty, quote unquote, or how stained your heart has been even before Ramadan, then you will be able to clean it out and reconcile with your wife or reconcile with your husband. So it's about you. It's about you working on yourself, working on your heart first, and working on yourself first. And so many things in Ramadan have given you that opportunity. Has given you that opportunity you are going to be calling on God so much time. Ask yourself as a husband, ask yourself as a wife. You are seeking for forgiveness. The Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran, wouldn't you like to be forgiven?
You have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Are you taking it or not?
Yes, take it or not. And if you want me to forgive me, why wouldn't you forgive the other? Ar-Rahimuna irhamuhumur Rahman. Those who are merciful to others, Almighty Allah is also merciful to them. In another narration it says, Irhamu man fil ard, yarhamukum man fis sama. Have mercy on those on earth, and that in heaven would also have mercy on you.
Interesting. Sheikh, so then, again, service to Allah.
It's pronounced Allah.
Allah.
Yes.
Allah.
The L needs to be doubled.
Allah.
Very good.
Okay. Service to Allah within our communities.
Yes.
You don't find a lot of young people giving themselves up for that service. You would usually find people like you in their mid or people who are older, and you usually find one old man who's always dedicated to the affairs of the mosque and all of that. How does Ramadan improve on the conscience of young people to give themselves up? Because there has to be a sustainability plan.
Absolutely.
If there is none, it becomes a problem.
Absolutely. In Islam, particularly in this space of time during the month of Ramadan, one of the things that Islam teaches us is the fact that, in fact, the worship itself from A to Z within the month of Ramadan, the mode of doing it really needs the youth.
Okay.
It's about, yes, in that is why the verse that made Ramadan compulsory on us excluded the old and the very weak that is not able to. So it is about the youth, because they are the ones with the strength, with the youthful exuberance to be able to withstand some of these things that we are talking about.
Right.
And they are the ones, when you talk about food and drink, who are those who drink more and who eat more? When you talk about sexual impulses or something, who are those who have it more? So it's actually about the youth.
Right.
Some of, the elderly ones would have gone into menopause even when, maybe by the time they are 50, 60 years, right? But the younger ones are the focus of all the teachings in Islam. Therefore, it is on them to know. Even though you look at our society, a lot of, I will tell you this as a fact, that Ramadan in particular is a month in which you see the youth really showing up.
Okay.
Contrary, yes.
Right.
Contrary to after Ramadan, yes, you can talk about this. But during Ramadan, you see them coming up. That tells you that, yes, they come out in numbers.
Okay.
In fact, that's why they fill the mosques.
Okay. So, I get that point. But my question is directed to just, like we explained earlier, the Ramadan is supposed to reform you.
Yes.
Supposed to give you motivation, empathy, and all of that. And then post-Ramadan, you should have a reflection on what it is that you have gained, what rewards you have earned, and so you don't ruin it because you may never have a chance.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that if you dedicate yourself during Ramadan, post-Ramadan, what are the dedication levels like? What should it be like for me, the young Muslim youth listening right now? Should I give myself out, and what roles are there for me to play?
Absolutely correct. You see, when you go out of Ramadan, after Ramadan, what will happen is that if you see yourself engaging more in doing good, engaging more in eschewing wrong things, engaging more in a lot of good things that you have been doing in Ramadan as a youth, then you should know that yes, it was positive, because it is actually about either it has been accepted or not by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the scholars say that if you want to know that your Ramadan has been accepted, or all the acts of worship that you have done, or all the prayers that you have done has been accepted, you realize that when you come out of Ramadan, you are a changed person.
That's right.
The society will now start benefiting from the training, the schooling that you have gone through during Ramadan. Therefore, you would have to come out changed. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I have not been sent to humanity, but to change the manners and behavior. So your Ramadan and your fasting and everything that you have done so good in Ramadan, if really it has gone through and accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will see yourself a changed person outside Ramadan.
Right.
So as a youth, you need to know that if you become more positive in terms of your social intervention, in terms of your good family relation, in terms of your truthfulness, in terms of your sense of mercy to others, in terms of your good relations with all people around you, then thumbs up for you. Then it means there is a development. Then it means you have moved forward. Else, you have to now know that, well, there was something, probably I didn't even do it well. It wasn't accepted. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't forgive me. Maybe the reward, I didn't attain them. Typically, that is what will happen to you after Ramadan.
Sheikh, let's wrap up the conversation. Your closing thoughts as we've tried to connect emotional intelligence to Ramadan. What should be the major takeaways in 2 minutes?
The major takeaway for me and for the whole of humanity, all those watching me today, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created this world, He created it for Adam and Eve to come and construct it.
Right.
With love, with care, with construction between humans and all those creations around. And so He has prescribed certain mechanisms for us to utilize, or for it to help us to be able to attain this purpose. And all what we are doing is to attain the pleasure of God. And you cannot attain the pleasure of God if you are not pleased with your own self. So I will call on every one of us listening and watching that work more on yourself before even you look onto working on others.
Yes.
A lot of the time, we are so much concerned about others that we forget ourselves. Ramadan wants to teach us how to have self-development.
Right.
Build yourself, make yourself good. The moment each and every one of us does same, we will start seeing each other differently and positively.
See, so work on yourself first.
Absolutely.
Before you work on others. Once you are lighted,
absolutely,
you can light other people.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you have a dead candle, you can't light another candle.
Absolutely.
But if your candle is lighted, you can light somebody.
Absolutely.
Sheikh, this is deep.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much. Mashallah. Mashallah. Thank you very much. And that's been part of our Ramadan series. I want to say good morning to Sheikh Arimaya of the National Chief Imam's Office, and also to His Eminence, Sheikh Osman Nuru Sharbutu, 103 and strong. And to all the Muslim clerics that we've been using as resource persons over and over again, we are happy that you could always come and share great knowledge with us. To our good friends, Kamal Din Abdullahi, Mutala Mohammed, Sohini, Alasa Sohini, all of you who Muslims who come here, we celebrate you and we appreciate you. Honorable Harun Idriso as well. Yes, and happy birthday in advance to Daniel Kweku Ansa Nyampong. This is from Mr. and Mrs. Okutu. Also, a happy birthday to Mrs. Solana, Mrs. Favor Solana. This is from Amos Solana and also your friends. And a big one to Dr. Kobi Mensah of the University of Ghana Business School. Pump up, that's his slogan. Hashtag pump up. So Dr. Kobi Mensah, this is from Noel Nuchuga, your student, and also from my good self. Happy birthday to you, Dr. Kobi Mensah of the University of Ghana Business School. Live long, sir, and continue teaching and enlightening us. We're happy that you could share your knowledge with us. Also, thank you to Imam Saeed Mokhtar Abubakar. He is the officiating Imam at Dar es Salaam Mosque and also around the airport and the executive director, sorry about that, of Saeed Academy, Ashaman, Switzerland. Thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit. 0246 590 162. Again, 0246 590 162. Ramadan is here. Get something special. Idi, good morning to you. We'll see you after the break. There's sports, entertainment, and some more conversations. I go to 3FM 92.7 now to have a conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.